would like. Okay, this meeting is being recorded. Okay, so our first speaker today is Marty DeGarmo. He comes to us from New Jersey in the United States. Marty's background is for about 17 years or so. He was a project manager for a company, traveled the globe, has been all across the world, and worked very hard in that line of work. Then in the last 15 plus years, he got into online marketing, learning different businesses and programs online. And he has seen it all, along with his partners, Dan and Mike, who are joining us today. They have seen it all. They know what's out there. And Marty has a lot of wisdom about what's out there for making money online, and his experience is very, very valuable. And that's why we're going to open up with Marty so he can tell you a little bit about his story, and then we'll get into the presentation, and then afterwards we'll talk about the Q&A. Okay, so Marty, it's all yours.
Susie, thank you very much. I'll pay you later for the great announcement about me. Anyway, again, my name is Marty DeGarmo. I'm 61 years old, grandpop, been online since 2004. And I came online just like everybody else, or a lot of people, is to see if I couldn't crack the code and see if I couldn't make a little money online. Found out the harsh truth is it's not as easy as some people made it look like. I joined I can't even tell you the first business I was in, but I ran into the elusive making any cash. I get in, sometimes they had a $500 startup kit, and you get it and you get all these little pamphlets and all this stuff, and then they tell you, get your mind right and make sure you have a big enough why. And all that was done. I did everything they told me. And then all of a sudden, I'm 4 or 5 months into it, paying a monthly ownership that I can't afford. And I'm actually losing money every month that I'm in this business. So I thought, well, maybe it's the business. So I would get out. There'd be another shiny object there, and I'd run over to it and say, oh, this looks much better. No idea what I was doing. So I did it again. And needless to say, definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. I did it over and over because I'm seeing people that are doing well, and I'm thinking if they can do it, why can't I? I found out about years later that what they were doing is they learned how to build lists, and they had skills of some type that they could not duplicate what they were doing. I had to learn it on my own. I had to learn it somehow. And I did. I took the time to try to figure out the skills I needed to build a list and build a team. And then I'd find a company that's legit and I'd make money. And so would everybody with me. Okay, well, what happened about 8, 9 years ago, I ran into Mike Ellis here on Dan Street. And between the three of us, we're a pretty darn good marketer. We built large teams. But we ran into a different end of the spectrum, which was we could build a large team. We still had no control over whether the company's legit or if the products are legit, and it's going to be in business 2 months from now. But anyway, we build large teams, we get in, and then we found out, well, maybe this is okay. But then we saw that anybody that we invited, they couldn't do what we were doing. Why? They didn't have full-time 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years to learn what we learned. I said, well, we'll just show them what we're doing. Couldn't do it. You can't duplicate what you're doing with 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 people. And that's what you need eventually to make any type of money. So now it got really frustrating. So about 2 years ago, after going through many, many different businesses, and it finally wound up, something's got to give. So I went out looking for a business that was perfect for anyone. Now, Was that naive? Yeah, pretty much. But I had to know what else do I have. What's plan B? Keep doing what I'm doing? Just that didn't work. I didn't like the idea, neither did Mike or Dan, bringing people in. They couldn't go with us. So I bump into Red Redford, who's not here right now, and Peter Rogers, and I asked them what they were doing. I knew them from a business before when we were in with a guru who couldn't share anything with us either, and asked them what they're doing. I said, we're in a business, and they told me about the business briefly, and my bar was really low. Can I make money? Yes. Can we make a damn it? Yes. Can the people we bring in make money? Yes. Is there an auto ship? No. Are the products digital? That's my dogs. That's what happens here when they're with me. Yes, they're digital. Are they in high demand, or are they a widget that just came out and we got to sell something that nobody knows what it is? No, very high demand by the billions and billions of dollars a year. Boom, I'm in. So I got in. Went back and kind of, excuse my French, barfed all over Mike and Dan and told them all about it. They kind of shook their heads, so it must be something, we'll get in. And then we learned this, we went and found out it's an incredible business. It is a business that anyone can do. It was set up for the 97, 98% to sit in the audience and watch some other guy walk across stage with a 7-foot check. And we loved it. And it's been 2 years. It's a huge, huge business, and it gets better every day. And Mike Ellis can explain it as good, if not better, than anybody in the company. And when he's done, you will see what we saw. And then you can get back to the person that brought you here and find out how you can be part of this. Mike Ellis, the show is yours.
No, thanks, Marty. And you're right on. You know, for the new people that are here, we're here to develop wealth online, develop a residual income. That's why we're here. And when you look at Onpassive, it really is extraordinary what Ash and his team have done. And I love questions. If you ask the right questions, you usually get the answers that you need to move forward. And if you can imagine a business as you come in, it was set up for you. Number one, as you come in, there are no qualifications, no limitations. In other words, you can make as much as you want, and they're never going to add any qualifications to it, to sell, to buy, to recruit, to share. Imagine a business as you come in, not only are there no qualification, no caps, but as you come in, it's 100% automated. They use AI technology to make everything they do 100% automated, and they do it for you. You don't have to do anything. And then imagine a company as you come in was really built for you. When they started to build the company, the thing that was in the back of their mind was to share the wealth and make sure that as people come in and participate with the company, they will succeed. Now, that's a really, really tall order right there, just those 4 things. But Onpassive today, it is a reality, and those things are true within Onpassive. And what I'd like to do is answer those questions for you, and you can determine for yourself whether Onpassive will work for you. And as we look at Onpassive, they are an AI IT company, artificial intelligence, informational technology company. They were developed by a gentleman by the name of Ash Mufareh. Ash Mufareh, he is the visionary. He is the brain trust behind Onpassive. And one of the main things he thought about as he was developing Onpassive was sharing the wealth with us. And that is so unique and rare in the industry today. When Marty, Dan, and I heard that, we went, well, this is different. And of course, as we got into it, we found out, yes, there are a lot of moving parts in Onpassive. There are a ton of. Onpassive today, again, it is a reality, and they are massive. They are in over 225 countries today. They have a lot of moving parts. But as Ash Mufareh developed Onpassive, and he developed all the tools in Onpassive, all the products of Onpassive in Hyderabad, India, with a tech team of about 600 strong, and their products are just absolutely phenomenal. But as he was doing all of this, his goal was to share the wealth with us. And Ash started to talk about several concepts that he initiated in Onpassive. And once you understand these concepts, and there are 5 of them that I'm going to go over very, very quickly, it'll show you what Onpassive is going to do for you. And in the end, that's all that's important right now. What can Onpassive do for me? Can I build wealth? Can I build a residual income that will last not for a month or 2, but for years and decades down the road? So these 4 concepts, very unique in any company. In fact, I've never seen it in another company as long as I've been online. And I've been online, like Marty, quite a while, about 12 years. And the concepts are self-funding, for success, product, customer, and then volume. Very, very simple. Add them together and they become very, very powerful. Let's talk about the first one, self-funding. As you come into Onpassive, it is a self-funding business. What does that mean? You will go out of pocket once, you'll never have to go out of pocket again. For me, that was very, very refreshing, because all the other businesses that Marty, Dan, and I had been in, you had to come in and you were continually paying for whatever with that company. And that went on month after month after month. And normally what happens with most people is they're just not generating enough income to take care of that monthly payment. And eventually over time, they just quit. They just can't do it anymore. That is not Onpassive. You will come in, pay once, never have to go out of pocket again. For me, very, very refreshing. The next one is a phrase that Ash talked to us about. And as he talked to us about it, I love the phrase for success. I absolutely love it. And most of the people that come into Onpassive, they love it too, but they don't have a clue what it means. And as we started to understand what Ash was doing, we understood that for success, all that meant was Onpassive is going to force you to build wealth online. Are they going to force you to dig ditches? No. They're going to force you to build wealth online. And really, to understand that term, I need to talk about product and customer. And when I put these 2 things together, you're going to understand exactly what Onpassive is going to do for you. And again, that's all that's important right now. What is Onpassive going to do for you? Let's talk about the products of Onpassive first. Very, very important. All the products of Onpassive, again, they're made through Ash's tech team in Hyderabad, India, 600 strong. These individuals are absolutely brilliant. And all the products of Onpassive are built from the ground up, proprietary, cutting edge technology. This is brand new technology. It is superior technology, superior tools at a lower price point. Okay. Just right there, if it were me, I would be in. Anytime you can have a superior tool, whatever the tool is, at a lower price point, that's really, 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 really rare. And some of the tools, products, interchangeable terms there. Some of the products of Onpassive is an automated marketing platform. It has all the tools we use to market online, whether it's a page builder, whether it's a funnel builder, whether it's an autoresponder, whether it's a webinar service, has all the tools we use to market online. Other tools are educational platform, Academy, or an HR department, human resources department, where people can come in and manage their human resources in their business, staff. But the products of Onpassive, they are absolutely superior at a lower price point, okay? That takes me over to the customer side. Customer sides, why are they going to come into Onpassive and use the products of Onpassive? Well, superior lower price point. But it's more than that. It makes their lives easier, makes their jobs better, and it makes their bottom line better. This is really self-interest. The reason they're going to come in is because of what Ash and his team have done and how good the tools are. And as we look at the customer side of Onpassive, today, we have a market of about 4.6 billion customers throughout the world. And Onpassive is primarily a customer-based business, even though we have the opportunity, the privilege to come in and participate with Onpassive. But the customer side of Onpassive it's anywhere from K through 12, colleges. It could be small, medium, large size businesses. It could be governments. It could be personal use. I believe it will be all of those, because Onpassive is a complete digital system that takes care of all our digital needs. And as we look at the customers of Onpassive, they will flock into Onpassive. So how is all of this going to work? As we come into Onpassive, Onpassive is going to come in and they're going to go into their toolbox, the products of Onpassive, and they're going to build a marketing system for each and every one of us, okay? And then they're going to hook it up to AI. And again, Onpassive AI, IT, artificial intelligence, informational technology. So they're going to use both of those tools. They're going to take the products of the automated marketing platform. They're going to hook it up with AI, and then it becomes 100% automated. Okay. Because of AI, it makes what Onpassive is doing for us completely automated. That's such a big deal. As Marty talked about, most people that come online, they don't have the time or inclination to learn the skill sets they need to be successful online. Onpassive has taken that out of the way and leveled the playing field. Because of what they're doing, 100% automated business, it makes it fair for everybody, and everybody will win. What are they going to do after they make that marketing platform, hook it up to AI? Again, they're going to go back into the toolbox, the products of Onpassive. They're going to pull out traffic, and they're going to start driving massive traffic through our business to customers. And as those customers get introduced to Onpassive and the products of Onpassive, they're going to love them, and customers will flock in. And as those customers flock in, a certain percentage of those customers will land underneath you. And it works a lot like if you were in commission sales with a company, you went out and made $100 sale, your commission was 10%, you'd make $10. That's kind of how it works with Onpassive. As these customers come in and start to land underneath you, you get paid off a percentage of that volume. So this is what Onpassive is going to be doing for all of us. But it's even better than that. When we talk about traffic, and I'm not sure many people really understand good quality traffic, getting good qualified eyes in front of what you're doing, people coming in, loving it, and buying. This is what Onpassive does. And when we talk about the sheer volume that Onpassive is going to be bringing in, this is really, really important for you and for me and everybody that's here. If I talk about a couple of products of Onpassive, let's talk about Academy, that's the educational platform, and OStaff, that's the HR platform, human resources platform. As we talk about the Academy educational platform, the revenue that comes in from other companies serving this niche yearly is $250 billion. That's a massive, massive niche. And these are the type of niches that Onpassive picks. The other one is OStaff. And as we look at OStaff, it's not quite as big as Academy, but it's still right around $18 billion of revenue a year. When you add those two together, it's $267 billion of revenue coming into those companies servicing those niches. Now, I don't know how much market share Onpassive will take. And if we're very, very conservative and say, let's say Onpassive, as we launch to the world, comes out and takes 2.5% of that revenue. That's $67 billion of revenue coming into Onpassive. And these are customers coming in. And all of these customers, every single one of them will land underneath us. When you talk about that kind of volume, it is extraordinary what it's going to do for everybody that comes in, becomes a founding member. Now, when we think about just those two niches, again, this goes to volume, so important to what Onpassive is going to be doing for us. When we think about those two niches, Academy and the OStaff, the HR portfolio, we know that at the end of 1 year, Onpassive would be a unicorn company. Now, understand, no company in the history of the world has ever come out and in 1 year become a unicorn company. And that is a company that has a value of $1 billion. Piece of cake with just those two tools. There are 50 tools in Onpassive, all of them as good as the two I just talked about. And we know this for a fact, as Onpassive launches to the world, they will be a unicorn company day one. And that's never been, obviously it's never been done because nobody's ever done it in a year. Onpassive will do that day one. What does that do for you and I? They will be a unicorn company, a company that has a value of over $1 billion. Again, all that revenue coming in will land underneath each and every one of us. And the percentage of that, we get paid off of the percentage of the value that lands underneath you. It is going to be massive. So when we talk about Onpassive, yes, it is complicated. Yes, there are a lot of moving parts. Yes, they're a massive company today. It is a reality today. But if you keep it simple, you think about self-funding, you think about for success, building wealth online, You think about the product, the customer, and the amount of volume that Onpassive is going to be bringing in for all of us. It truly is extraordinary what Ash and his team have done and are doing today. Now, how do we come into Onpassive? Today, there is a position, is the founding position. It is a $97 position. What does it do? It locks you into Onpassive. It locks you into the pay structure of Onpassive. That's a really, really big deal. As you come in and pay the $97, there are some real tangible benefits to becoming a founding member. And I want to talk about a couple of them. As you come in and become a founding member, we are in the pre-launch right now, getting very, very close to the hard launch. There will be a time frame in there where Onpassive will actually start building our team before they launch to the world. You have to understand that as Onpassive starts to build your team, and again, this is part of what they do. This is part of what they do. They will come in and start building your team, and anybody that lands underneath you, it's another stream of revenue. So it's a really, really big deal. And then as you talk about the founding members, as we launch to the world, there will be an advantage of the amount of traffic that you get as Onpassive drive traffic for everybody in Onpassive. It's a big, big deal. But the founding position, it is a $97 position, locks you into the company and the pay structure of Onpassive. Now, as Onpassive launches to the world, and again, we are in that process right now. As Onpassive launches to the world, the founding members will all come into Onpassive, will pay a subscription fee and become members of Onpassive, and we will get all the products of Onpassive. That fee is going to be right around $250. That is the fee you will pay once. You'll never have to go out of pocket again. It is the fee that, yes, it is a monthly fee, but you'll never have to go out of pocket, just one time. And the additional months after that will be paid from the profits of Onpassive. Once we come in, pay that fee, we go into the back office, we click a button, we become independent resellers of the IT product, and Onpassive can pay us. The reason I went through that is to get to clicking a button, becoming independent reseller of the IT product. With that title, Onpassive can pay us. Let's back up to the subscription fee and the membership. As we come in, we get all the tools of Onpassive. We get the AI, artificial intelligence. We get the IT products, informational technology products. This is when Onpassive can build the marketing platform for us. They can hook it up to AI. They can start driving traffic for us and building our business for us. This is a really, really big deal. What Ash has done has never been done in the history of business, in the history of the world. And when we look at what Onpassive is going to be doing for all of us, it gets extremely exciting to understand we have a business that is 100% automated, not 100% passive, but 100% automated. And it's going to be working for us for months, years, and decades. And because of that, our wealth will grow, our residual income will grow, and you will get to that point over time where you just don't worry about finances. That's what Onpassive is going to do for each and every one of us. And when you start thinking about Onpassive, I want to bring in Ash Mufareh just very, very quickly. Ash has a heart to serve, and it really plays out with what he's done in Onpassive. And Marty, Dan, and I, we've known Ash for a very, very long time, and he really has a heart for people, and he wants them to succeed. And as we look at what Onpassive is going to be doing, understanding that Ash's goal, one of the main goals Ash has, is to take the wealth of Onpassive and share it with the founding members. And I'm not talking about 10, 15, 20, 30% of the wealth coming in. I'm talking about 50, 60, 65% of the wealth that's going to be coming into Onpassive will be shared with the founding members. This is so powerful. And when you think about an individual doing that, and Ash did not have to do that. I believe if Ash just took the wealth of Onpassive, he would become one of the wealthiest men in the world, one of the wealthiest people in the world in a very, very short period of time. That is not Ash Mufareh. He wants all of us to succeed and exceed extremely well. I'm not talking about piddly money here. I'm talking about life-changing money. This is who Ash is. This is what he's trying to do for everybody that comes into Onpassive. And it's so unique. If you look at other companies and what they do with their wealth, they keep it in the family. A very, very few number of people They get very, very wealthy and they just give a little bit away. That's not Onpassive. That's not Ash Mufara. As you come into Onpassive, remember 100% automated using AI technology. Onpassive does the work for you. Today, we are in the launch of Onpassive. We are in pre-launch right now. Very, very shortly, we are going to have the opportunity, before they go into hard launch, to actually use the products of Onpassive. There are some really huge tangible benefits for being a founding member and being able to do that. And I won't go over that today on this video, but I will share that with you over the next weeks or so. But it'll give you the opportunity to add tens of thousands of dollars to your bottom line and tens of thousands of dollars to your Onpassive business as you come in and become a founding member of Onpassive. We're in a really exciting place right now. Ash is coming out with so many things, and Onpassive is accelerating at such a high speed. We will be in hard launch, the worldwide launch of Onpassive, the global launch of Onpassive, very, very quickly. So our window is closing. Do not wait. Come on in, get involved, become a founding member, and then continue to discover more about Onpassive. I've touched on Onpassive, but it is so much bigger than this. You can keep it very, very simple with self-funding for success, product, customer, and volume. I recommend you do that, but continue to learn about Onpassive because it gets better and better and better. Marty, Dan, Susie, Charles, everybody here that is on the panel today, they will testify that as long as they've been in Onpassive, it's gotten better every week, every month because of what Ash is sharing with us. And now that we're so close to the global launch of Onpassive, you're in a unique position to start taking advantage of Onpassive in a very, very short period of time, building that wealth and creating that residual income. So this is Onpassive. It was made for you and I. It is a complete digital system, automation, hooked up, our platform hooked up to automation, artificial intelligence, 100% automated, traffic, and from there, profits coming in. That's where we want to be. So this is Onpassive. If you have any questions, this panel is absolutely excellent. I'm going to turn it back over to Susie and Marty. And if I missed anything, by all means, jump in and add it to it. Go ahead, Marty.
Well, first of all, Marty's got
Susie.
a little bit of, Marty's got a little bit of a tie up. So I told him
Okay.
no worries at all. So Charles, I don't know if you want to add anything before we go into a Q&A.
Well, of course, Mike has said it all. He's done a very, very good job. If I were not yet a founder, trust me, I'll be signing up again right now, okay? But I just want to kind of do an emphasis. I want to emphasize on the fact that we do not have to recruit to make money. In other words, you come into Onpassive, you seal your mouth, you don't talk to anybody, you will still be successful. Very important to note. Secondly, we don't have to come out of pocket month in, month out. Mike said it, but I just want to emphasize because he says it in a different way, okay? We don't have to pay an auto ship. That is serious. That is crucial. And the third thing, legitimate, viable products. If you've ever been in a company that disappears, go back and look at why. It's because they don't have legitimate, viable products. Guess what? Onpassive has solved that problem. We do have the most legitimate, viable digital products in this day and age. Okay? So guys, if you are sitting on the fence, get off, get in, and let's celebrate in a few months from now. That's all I'm going to add, Susie. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dan, would you like to add a few things before we go into Q&A?
Well, I think both Mike and Charles and you, Susie, have pretty much covered everything that is out there. I'd just like to emphasize the fact that Mike said it earlier that Ash Mufara is in this business to help the 98% who've never made a dime online. Okay. And that's a lot of us. We've been involved in other multi-level type marketing companies or direct marketing companies where we've had to recruit people in order to get paid. And Mike explained it very well that you don't need to recruit. You come in as a founding member once. This is the takeaway I will give today. You come in as a founding member once, you pay your subscription fee once out of pocket, and Onpassive will create an internet business for you. And they do that with their ongoing marketing campaign that they're advertising to the world. So I don't know of any other company anywhere at any time that was ever going to do that for me for such a small investment of $97. So my suggestion to all of you new people out there, $97 and you can become a founding member. Now that $97 is good for, we don't really know yet, but for the next few weeks, I would say for sure. And then the price goes up. And then once we hit the hard launch, as Mike was saying, that founding member, you cannot be a founding member any longer. That will end. And there's some tremendous benefits of being a founding member. And we're all there and we're so excited about it, we can't stand it. And if you have any questions, we're here to help.
That's right. I love hearing you say all those things, Dan. We're going to have Andy say a few words too. So we're going to do the Q&A today.
Can
We
I?
already have a couple questions, a few. If you have a question, please type it in the chat. We're not bringing people onto the panel. We're going to do it right through the chat. So go ahead and do that. So Andy, if you want to share a few words of wisdom, and we'll get going into the Q&A.
My esteemed colleagues have said pretty much everything there is to say. However, what I'd like to add, if I may, is that the simplicity of this is beyond belief. I'm not a techie. I have no clue as to IT products. I'm a financial advisor. I'm a figures guy. What I do know is that they will make it simplified for all of us. So they build your website, they drive traffic to your website, they send that traffic and they close that traffic for you. And all of those customers that go into that and sign up become part of your group and you get paid a commission for it. Now, with the advanced and superior products that Mike mentioned at a lower price point, we anticipate taking on over 100 million customers in our first year. And we are 700,000 founders today. So that's less than 1% of the first year customer base. And our potential customer base is over 4.6 billion customers. This is a correction to the corruption, and anybody in their right mind that takes their time to see this, hands in the air, it took me 4 months to get the light bulb moment, but once I did, this is it. This is all I need. So hopefully that helps, but yeah, let's see if we can answer some questions.
Okay, great, Andy. Yes. And just a few words from me. I have a lot of experience in the corporate world. I was part of a multi-level marketing, so I understand a little bit about online stuff. But the one thing I am good at is getting a feel for people. I'm good at figuring out if something's phony baloney, or if people are phony baloney, or if they're the real deal and they're authentic. So I've been in for a year and a half, and I am delighted to report that our CEO and all of the people that I'm associated with here, are the real deal. They're authentic. We are here to help everybody, be successful with this business and to get the word out. So that's why you're here listening to this. We're here on this platform to get the word out. So I highly encourage you to get back to the person who invited you so that you can jump on board. And you know what you're going to find when you jump on board and you start listening to the private webinars and our CEO, the hair on your arms is going to stand up. You're going to go, oh my God, I'm so glad I jumped in. I jumped in right away and then kept learning. So we do have a few questions. One of them is could someone please describe some of the digital products, maybe a little bit more? If someone, okay, Mike Ellis, if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, as you come in and become a founder, you're going to see all the list of the digital products that we have. Obviously, we can't go over all of them in this webinar, but I can talk about a few of them. One of them is OConnect. That's the webinar service that we're going to have. It's going to be superior to what we're using right now. The other two, I've talked to two of them, OStaff and OAcademy. It's an HR product. It's a human resources product. Businesses can come in and take care of their human resources department. OStaff, OAcademy, OStaff, educational platform, and then OTraffic. And when we talk about these tools, understand that every niche that Onpassive has gotten into, it is a niche that is in high demand. In other words, there are already people out there using similar tools today, okay? And as Onpassive comes out, because their tools are superior at a lower price point, they're going to flock in. And if we look at these four products, OConnect, OAcademy, OStaff, and OTrim, Traffic, Educational Platform, HR Platform, and Webinar, and we look at the overall market, the revenue that's generated in the market yearly, if we look at that market, it is staggering. Just those four products generate revenue. The amount of revenue they generate yearly is $483 billion, okay? That is massive. If we think about Onpassive, and let's say Onpassive comes in, and again, all these tools are in great demand. Let's say Onpassive comes in and they take 2.5% of that market away from the existing competition today, okay? That's $36 billion in revenue, okay? All of that is coming into the founding members. All of those customers coming in land under all of us, a certain percentage of them, and we get paid off of that volume. Andy talked about 100 million, was it Andy, or 100 million? We get mixed up with millions and billions anymore, but 100 million customers coming in. Well, let's put a number on that. Let's say it's $36 billion. That's 0.25%. I think Onpassive will do much more than that, but very, very conservatively, you're in a good place because that revenue is going to be coming to us and it's going to hit your bottom line. That's why you're here, build wealth. So those are four products. As you come in and become a founding member, there will be a ton of products you'll be able to go in the back office and take a look at, but all of them are as good as those four and better. So hopefully that helped. Anybody else?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's great. Go ahead, Andy, if you want to add to that.
I have lots of friends who are teachers, and one in particular is a maths teacher in my local city, Portsmouth, at one of the grammar schools. And obviously with this pandemic, we've seen Zoom go exorbitant rates, 128 billion or something in last year, because everything was put on Zoom. And he hates it with a passion for two reasons. First of all, he said it took us 2 weeks to teach the kids how to use the system. He said, but secondly, once they sign on to that system, they go and play on their Xbox while they're at home, and I can't get in touch with them. Now, one of the beauties, as Mike's quite rightly mentioned, our products are far superior. So the superiority of Academy shows in various different ways. From being able to add a whiteboard in, etc. But one of the things that's interesting is it has distraction detection equipment built in. In other words, if the kid is not paying attention, it flags up to the teacher. Okay, so he can't go on his Xbox for a start. But one of the interesting things is I could do, I'm not qualified to do, but let's say I did an English lesson and I posted that online. That would allow someone in Japan to hear that lesson in Japanese in real time. it's translated into 57 odd different languages in real time. Now, that's just two of the tiny perks that is the difference between our academy and what's available through the current system. And wow, is that going to make a massive difference as far as business is concerned? So yes, if we don't take a large slice out of the current competition, then I'll eat my hat.
Like to watch that. Okay, thank you so much for your responses. I'm going to read a little bit about, I believe the name is Olienka Smith, wrote a couple questions. We answered a few in the chat, but maybe we can elaborate a little bit more. The question was, I understand you don't have to recruit. However, if you do recruit, what does that do for you? Like, and we know that sharing the business will make you succeed faster and, you know, reach your goals faster. But the part of the question they wrote was, otherwise the whole concept is hazy. For example, is every subscriber a founder? And number two, is there some point at which the lid will be closed for founders list? I'm not quite sure what that exactly means, but if someone wants to talk a little bit about there being a lid and customers, every subscriber is a founder. Someone like to respond? Charles?
Yes, please. I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes, question number one, if you don't have to recruit to make money, we all know that. Okay, however, if you do invite others, we don't want to say recruit, just share, right? We are sharing because we want to spread the wealth. That's first and foremost. So if I find something that I think is going to benefit me, I want my friends and family to benefit as well. What that does is makes them happy. They also get the financial benefits, but we get it faster, right? So what does that mean? Onpassive is going to build all the founders' teams when we launch. So if you start building your team prior to launch, they are simply going to build on top of what you have started. Now, if you don't do anything, they're going to start from scratch. So for example, I have 100 founders in my team. Maybe I talk to 10, 10 talk to 12, 12 talks to 20. Before I know it, I have 100, sorry. So 100 founders in my team. Upon launch, Onpassive start building from 101, 102, 103, 104, and goes on. You have 0 in your team, they're going to start build from 1, 2, 3. Well, guess what? When you monetize on 101 customers, it is a heck of a lot more than when you monetize from 1 customer. So that's the difference, okay? So there's something in it for you to share. All right. Now, at some point before we go to main launch, we are not going to be accepting founders anymore. Okay. So I believe it was Dan who said that price may go up. So we're going to go into soft launch very soon, meaning we are going to be beta testing the products. We, the founders, are going to be testing the products that are ready. The price might go up to become a founder. However, you will still be a founder if you come in during soft launch. Before we go to hard launch, main launch, that door is shut. I believe that's what that person is calling the lead. Yes, the lead is shut. It is closed. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, thank you so much, Charles. We also have a question here. Does Onpassive have video streaming product like YouTube? I think it would be very good addition if it's not currently available.
That's an easy one, Susie. Yeah.
You got it. It's all
Yeah,
yours.
they'll have something like YouTube, but it'll be better. And what they're doing with this it's absolutely amazing. Not only is it YouTube, but you can do a YouTube video and live stream it in social media on Facebook and some of the other social media outlets. It's extraordinary what Ash and his team have done with videos. And when you come in and start doing videos and you have another platform rather than YouTube, it's like all the other social media platforms. They will censor you if they don't like what you're saying. That is not Onpassive. As long as it's, as long as it's legit, honest, and there's no hanky panky, they'll put it up. They won't censor you. YouTube will, but yeah, they'll have something similar to YouTube, but 10 times better. I probably went too long on that, Susie, but that's all right.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We have another question here. It may be from a founder, but it may be from what some of our guests are thinking. So you become a founder and for some reason or the other, you can't pay the once out of pocket once we launch. What happens to his or her position with that? So maybe someone can speak a little bit to how that will happen. What will happen if someone cannot pay the first month subscription? Who would like to tackle that one? Oh, Andy.
Okay.
Go ahead, Andy.
At the end of the day, Ash wants to make sure that everybody succeeds. So there will be a grace period. And what you've got to bear in mind is that there's still traffic coming in. So if you've already got people in your group, traffic might be coming in below them, which will be feeding your wallet and therefore help you to fund that. But there will be a grace period. And during that grace period, your account, if you like, will be put on pause. It's fairly straightforward. You'll still be able to access the free products that Onpassive has. It just simply won't allow you all access to all of the various products that we have. But there will be a grace period. We're not sure exactly how long that grace period will be. But as I said before, in the first year, we anticipate 100 million customers. If you don't get 3 customers in your first 2 weeks, I think the phrase I used earlier on, Susie, was "I'll eat my hat."
So we're gonna, I don't think that's gonna happen though. We'll keep you eating other things. How's that? Okay.
Let me just add to it real quick, Susie,
Sure.
just to clarify it. The first month, everybody has to pay that. Andy's right. There might be a grace period, but you have to pay that first month. The second month, as you come in, and that fee has to be paid the second month. If the money is not there, that's when the pause comes in. The money will still be coming into your account from Onpassive. They never stop any of that, but they'll pause your account until you have enough money in there to pay the second month. And like Andy said, I don't think that's going to be so rare because of the volume of business that Onpassive is going to be bringing in. I wouldn't worry about the second, third, fourth month or a pause. I just don't think it's going to happen. But if it does, you're just pause for a short period of time while the money comes in. Once it's there, they pay it. You're good to go.
Okay, thank you, fellas. There's a question I'm going to read and I'll do the answer as well from Smith. Can one make payment for founding membership and the other out-of-pocket fee at once? And how much does both add up to? So the answer to that is right now, the only fee that's being accepted is the $97 fee to become a founding member. When we go to the official global launch, you will pay again out of pocket, but you can't do that ahead of time until we launch. We do not have an exact amount of what that will be. We've been told it could be from $100 to $250. So if you're looking for a grand total out of pocket, it would be the $97, about $100, and then maybe about another $200 or so. So I hope that answers your question. If anyone else wants to comment, I see we do have another good question from Beverly. If you are a teacher in, say, holistic medicine, is there a way to promote one's classes or retreats? Would someone like to respond to that, please? Okay, Andy, unmute yourself.
I was going to say, I kind of sent a little message earlier on. At the end of the day, Onpassive is able to promote your business. If you have a legitimate business that's accepted by Onpassive, then you will be able to promote that business. So if it's a holistic retreat, then yes, no problem at all. And at the end of the day, if you wish to be able to post your lessons onto Academy and then offer those out to people around the globe, the answer is also yes. So you'd be able to do both.
Okay, thank you so much. And I want to respond to Lily Lane, who I know was emailing. Yes, going forward with the guest webinars, there won't be a passcode required. We had a little bit of a mishap today, and we apologize for any confusion that may have created. So going forward, yes, the links in the back office on webinar links will be correct, and we will not be requiring a passcode. Okay, I don't
Yeah,
see
Susie.
any other questions. Yes, Mike.
Let me talk about bringing other businesses on the Onpassive platform just a little bit. The advantages of bringing another company, if it's a good company, legitimate, and you actually love the company, bringing it on the Onpassive platform, when you pay that fee, that founder fee, and then the subscription fee coming into Onpassive, right around $250, you can actually drive traffic through that company of yours. So you can drive massive traffic through the company that you love on the Onpassive marketing platform. And it gets better than that. If you have a good metrics, you're making money with that, you can also scale it. In other words, if you want to drive even more traffic, you can come in and actually scale the amount of traffic you're doing. So yeah, bringing another company in Onpassive to drive traffic through that company, I think there are going to be a lot of people doing that. I think they'll be very, very successful. So that's it, Susie.
Okay, thank you for adding that. Yes, so if Marty keeps posting in the chat, if you would like to get a copy of this webinar, you can send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com. He's also posted in there that if you want to take a look at the products, go to onpassive.com and then look around, look at the blog, look at all the products there, and you'll be amazed at what information is posted there. The blog is actually an excellent tool to educate yourself more as well. So once again, we apologize for the passcode mishap. We thought we weren't going to need one, but we did. But I appreciate everyone being adaptable and flexible, because that's what we do here. So if anyone else, I don't see any other questions. If anyone wants to say a last few words, I can't emphasize enough to get back to the person who invited you. Get a copy of the link of this video from Marty by emailing onpassivenation@gmail.com. It's in the chat, because it is a lot of information. You may want to listen to it again. So would anyone like to finish up?
Yeah, there's a quick question in the chat, Susan. They wanted to know if the $250 covers all 50 products. Yes. Not only that, but it covers any other products that Onpassive comes out with, and they will be bringing out products monthly, yearly, decades. I mean, all the products of Onpassive, when they come out, you get them. You don't pay anything more for it. It's really, really cool.
It is cool. And like, we like to, I like to keep it simple. This is a lot of information and we could go into so much detail, but basically pay once now out of pocket to become a founding member for $97. Then when we go into our official launch, you will pay once again out of pocket, somewhere around $200. We're not sure about that amount. And that's the last time you're going to pay out of pocket. Trust us and believe us. That's how it's going to work. Our CEO has a very charitable heart, and he's doing things differently than any other businesses out there. So those are the 2 times out of pocket. Don't get too hung up on all of the intricate details. You can start learning more and more once you jump on board and become a founder.
Thank you, Susie. I want to add that the $97, by the way, guys, you have a 30-day window and you can get your money back, right? So Richard Branson says, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity, but you don't understand it, jump on it and then start to learn about it, right? So this is an amazing opportunity. And then to make it even better, you have a chance of a refund. So now guess what? You pay your $97. If I were you and I'm a guest, I will pay that $97 and start studying it. As a matter of fact, when you become a founder, you have access to a whole lot of information about this company. So take the time, 5 days, 10 days, 20 days. Look at it. If you don't like it, say, hey, I want my money back. But I guarantee you, you're going to have some sleepless nights. Trust me. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Make
the
that choice.
value you get for the $97. You made me, I won't be long, I promise, fellas. You reminded me of something though. Sometimes I'll see something for sale or a product or whatever, and I get excited about it. And I watch the webinar and I click on it. And I know some of you out there have had the same experience. And it says it's like $27 or $47. And so you go to buy it and then they upsell you and they say, wait a minute, for another $97, you can get this and this. Don't miss out. And you have to kind of scroll down and look for the no thanks, I'm okay at turning up this offer. Then you do that and another screen comes up and they're trying to say, here's your last chance. Well, that's not what we're about. And that's not going to happen to you. You're going to pay to become a founder. And then when we launch, you're going to pay for your subscription once out of pocket. And that's it. You're not going to get all of these sales coming up to you and making you feel pressured that you have to do anything.
Yeah, someone just put a question on the chat that where would I go to make the first payment? So it's simple. Get back to whoever invited you. They send you a link. You sign up. Very quick process, maybe 4 minutes or so. And then it'll ask you to go verify your email. Once you go back to your email address, you click, it is me, verify email. It'll now say click here and it'll take you straight to the payment page. You pay directly to the company. You have different options. Cash App if you're in the US or United Kingdom. Okay, you can pay with cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. Okay, but we do recommend credit debit card because it is the most hassle-free and it is the fastest. Okay, that's how you're going to make your payment directly to the company, not to anybody. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Anything else? Does anyone want to?
I guess if nobody has anything to say, oh, go ahead, Mike.
Well, no, I was going to ask you to tell them about the NDA, Charles.
Right, that's correct. Thank you, Mike. So once you make that payment, you are a founder, but you are not a complete founder, right? You can't take advantage of the marketing campaigns. You're going to have to go back and now sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, which is just something between you and the company's attorneys. Hey, these are the regulations. I agree to abide by them. I'm not going to sell any trade secrets. Pretty straightforward. Click on that, sign it up. You are a full founder, full-fledged founder with Onpassive. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. That's why we're all here. Teamwork.
Exactly. And I just also want to announce our next guest webinar is on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Okay. That's it. The next corporate guest webinar.
And we'll make sure we don't require the passcode.
Exactly.
There is a founder who asked a question about OConnect and HIPAA, being HIPAA compliant. That would be a good question to come on and ask in our private webinar, unless someone wants to elaborate on that. Also, can you use a prepaid credit card for activation fee?
Yes, definitely.
Yes,
Anything that you could use a credit card on, you could use a prepaid credit card on. It's a credit card. You've just paid for it ahead of time. So that's accurate.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
guys.
thank you, everyone. Remember, if you want a copy of this, email onpassivenation@gmail.com and we'll get you, Marty will get you a copy of it. He just put that in the chat. And also you can check out onpassive.com for more information. Okay, jump on board and you'll be smiling like the rest of us.
All right. Okay, guys.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
You have a great day.